The Lusky family has been in business in Texas for 100 years, but that is not where this story begins. Their legacy begins in Russia. Abraham Lusky was a bootmaker in Pinsk, Russia in the early 1900s. In 1913, he heard rumors that the people in the great state of Texas in the United States of America were bringing European families in through the port of Galveston to settle them in Texas. Abraham booked a passage for himself and his family. From Galveston, they were given passage to Fort Worth, where he opened a shoe and boot shop, A. Lusky and Sons. He was a fine leather designer, and his boot store was built on his ability to innovate in his craft. In 1919, Jake, Abraham's oldest son, opened his own general store, Lusky's. The store opened on Weatherford Street, close to the wagon yard where farmers and ranchers parked before heading downtown to do their banking and business at the land office. Jake and his wife Rose raised 7 children, 5 boys and 2 girls. Education, work ethic, and business experience were expected of each child. Everyone worked in the shop, and it was all about family. In 1960, after blowing out the candles on his 60th birthday cake, Jake made the surprise announcement that he was retiring and would pass the reins on to his 5 surprise sons. I am stepping down because the business would be yours anyway. If I waited until I died, I would not be able to help you, he said. This way, you can run the business any way you see fit. I will be in the background to help you with advice if you ever need it. Louis, the oldest brother, took responsibility for finance and general corporate management. David specialized in catalog production, mail order, and advertising. Louis and David came into the business in 1946 after the war. Edward entered the business in 1960, handling construction of new stores and merchandising. Gary came into the stores in 1950. He handled promotions, PR, and Western lifestyle involvement, including rodeos. The youngest entered the business in 1960. Alvin, or Butch, was in charge of marketing and buying for mail order in the stores. Everyone worked in the stores, and again, it was all about family. In the late 1970s, the 4th generation of Luskys began entering the business. Alan, Keegan, Larry, and Mike. Mike Lusky recalls, I remember running up and down the stairs in the old store when I was about 7. I remember shipping hats with my cousin Jerry when I was about 10, and working during summers in the stores. I would go to work with my father and be with my aunts and uncles, something that can't be taught in any school. I did not realize then that I was forming my deep family roots and interest in the business. So the next logical step was to enter the family business. I feel very lucky, he said, that I have had the opportunity to experience such a great family business. In 1982, the Lusky brothers purchased Ryan's Saddle and Ranch from Tandy Leather Corporation, and Lusky Ryan's was born. The family had always wanted a presence in the Fort Worth stockyards. The historic building and business was a perfect opportunity. In October 2016, Lusky's was acquired by the Cavender family, and the legacy of the family continues. According to Alan Lusky, Fort Worth has been so good to our family. It's the greatest city with the greatest people. We are proud of our heritage and have loved being a part of this legacy, promoting Western lifestyle, faith, and family. 2018 Texas Cowboy Hall of Fame inductees, the Lusky family.